Hey guys, I'm Brian.
And I'm Terry.
And welcome back to the Forest Farm Project. Today we are going to add a much needed accessory to this tractor.
Yeah, it gets hot here in South Carolina. I imagine anywhere in the summertime.
Get sunburnt real bad.
Sun beating down on your head.
Yeah.
It's rough.
So we're going to be putting a Canopy on here, and we're going to be using a Canopy from Curtis Cab. Also a subsidiary of theirs is Artillion, and we're going to be doing some accessories from them coming up as well. Excellent company. Really high quality products.
We've been looking at the parts, and it's heavy duty stuff. I mean, It's not heavy. It's fairly lightweight considering, but it's steel. It's solid.
And the
powder coated.
The Canopy is actually aluminum. It's not fiberglass, so you're not going to have to worry about that fiberglass degrading in the sun. It's going to hold up extremely well. And if it gets dented, you can knock the dent out or leave it. It's not going to crack.
Or order a new canopy to go on the brackets.
There you go. That's it.
If you crunch it.
Really a lot of versatility with this Canopy. Let's get to the install, and then we'll show you some of the options once we get it on there.
Let's do it. Okay guys, this assembly of this thing doesn't look too complicated. You've got a few parts. They always seem like, how am I going to do this? But it's not that bad. It doesn't look bad at all, really. We've got mounting hardware. We've got a frame for the canopy. Got the canopy down here. And we've got this assembly here that goes on the ROPS. So what this assembly is it consists of a ROPS plate and a striker plate. The striker plate is where the canopy mounts to. The canopy frame mounts to. The ROPS plate mounts directly on the ROPS. We have to disassemble these two in order to get this onto the ROPS. So let's do that first. 1/2-inch bolt here. Okay, it appears this striker plate is universal in that you could have it turned either way, could be the front, and either way could be left or right, and it's going to work exactly the same. It's made universally the same. So the ROPS plate has to be positioned a certain way. It's not universal. You have these two slots that they're saying needs to be to the rear, which would mean these two holes go to the front of the tractor on the ROPS. And these slots, we'll go ahead and talk about this right now. When you run this up on the ROPS and come through these holes, you want to twist this until it's snug against the ROPS. You don't want it to be loose back and forth. So you turn this one this way and the other one the other way until it gets tight where it won't turn any further. Then you tighten it down and it'll keep this thing more secure. So the next thing we need to do is locate center of this bracket on the front side and center of the ROPS so that we can position it properly so the canopy is centered on the tractor. It is about 15 3/4. That would put us at about 7 7/8. Half of 15 3/4. Yeah, that thing's a little wobbly. 7 7/8. Black on black. There we go.
You can still see it.
Yeah, you can see it pretty good. All righty.
So mark the ROPS now.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a hole in the middle.
There is a hole in the middle. I'm sure that's in the center. That is 34 3/4, would be 17 3/8. Yes, that is the center. So, there you go. All right, so to install this ROPS plate, we need to install these U-bolts and these nuts that have a 3/4 socket size. So we're going to go ahead and use deep well because it's a big old long threaded rod, 3/4 right there. Let's put them up there. All righty. Again, slots to the rear. These slots right here. Center it on the ROPS. If we had it available, we'd put some rubber between this and the ROPS, and we're probably going to do that. We don't have any currently. And we're anxious to get this thing working. Although today's cloudy, it might not always be cloudy. All right. They did provide some extra washers in case you had a very thin ROPS here and the threads were sticking through so high that the nut wouldn't tighten. But man, I can't imagine it being that thin of a canopy or a ROPS. There wouldn't be much protection there.
Definitely not.
What did I drop the other one? Yeah, I can't see it. It's a little bit higher than I can see. Where's it be?
Oh, the washer is
there. It is. I got it. All right, get these things rolling. Yeah, we definitely needed a deep well on this, didn't we?
Oh man, yeah.
It might not be deep enough.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We have wrenches.
Yeah, and they provided extra washers if you need it, so to space that out some. Right now, that Milwaukee impact driver would be real handy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Hint, hint.
We love our Milwaukee tools.
Yeah, this is a Milwaukee ratchet, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And socket set. Okay, I'm getting tired. That's about it right there, folks.
Good enough, huh?
Yeah, that'll do. That'll hold her. Again, slots to the back, and make sure that you push this into that slot so that they both move towards the center, and you want this so that it's touching the ROPS, this and this, so that it's very snug and there's no play in it. Double check, make sure I'm centered over there, Brian.
Looking good.
All right, let's tighten her down. Don't get your finger between that U-bolt and that bracket, it hurts.
And also, if you've got an impact driver, use it.
Yeah, this would be so much easier with an impact driver. Far, far easier. 10 times faster too. I already snugged this one up. All we gotta do is tighten it down. All right. Let's get that striker plate. All right, we're installing the striker plate. Requires a 1/2-inch socket. And this striker plate, like we said before, is universal. It could point this way or this way. It does exactly the same function. Basically, you have a pivot point on each end where there's a screw goes through, or bolt, and then 2 more spots where bolts go through, and you're able to tip this down or up. If you want your canopy level, you might want to tip it down in the front if the sun's hitting you in the face, or you might want to tip it up for whatever reason. In addition, you can take the canopy off of these brackets and flip it around and have it out the back if you happen to have a backhoe attachment that you're setting back on. If it has its seat on the back end, or if you're doing anything back here you wanted shade, you could flip it around. We haven't installed and removed it yet, but it seems lightweight enough that it's going to be really easy to move around. So the heaviest part is these brackets here, and they're going to stay on the tractor. All righty, you got them bolts, Brian?
There you go.
Okay. All righty. There we go, that's one. I think I got it.
There you go.
Yeah, boy.
And you don't want to cross thread these guys, go slow.
Yep. They screw in pretty easy. Nice and clean and easy. All right, let's install the adjuster screws. They actually lined up.
Awesome.
We'll go ahead and snug these up a little bit.
You have to use a wrench on those.
Man, luckily we have ratchet wrenches. Somebody got me some for Christmas.
Yep.
He's a good boy.
I try.
Okay, we'll get that ratchet in a minute. So this is where these ratcheting wrenches come in real handy.
Look at Mighty Mouse go.
Now you could have this tilted however you want. I'm gonna go for level-ish. Centered up the best we can there. That looks about center. And you can always come back and readjust once you actually get out and run it. Well, that didn't stay in place too good. I didn't have it snug enough yet. I gotta say, this thing has went right together as described in the instructions to a T. It's not been a problem at all. There's no burrs on the screws or nuts. They're good, solid hardware. It's excellent
Everything's
stuff.
really well made.
Quality stuff. I gotta say, it's quality. Okay, double check my tautness on this in here. Yep, we're good. Let's assemble that canopy and get it up here. Nope, we gotta put the canopy
frame up here.
Up here, yeah. Okay guys, this is a canopy frame. This is a release switch. There's one on each side, just the other one's just like this. There's a latch. I don't think you need to use this to install it. We're fixing to find out. You slide this slot up here, right there, on both sides, and then you pull down and lock it in. Let's see what happens. Put that there. that there. I have to push it all the way in, drop it down. Exactly, it locked in. So this is a release, boom. Now, there's some little adjusters right here. And what you're supposed to do is turn this down until it hits this plate. And it's basically a fine-tuning mechanism so that you don't have everything wobbling around and rattling while you're driving. This rubber bushing will tighten down to this plate. And once you get it adjusted, it should remain constant. And you may have to, if you change the angle of the canopy, I assume you'd have to change this. Okay, now let's set the canopy on here and get it bolted down. Okay guys, so here's the assembly hardware. There's 10 of these bolts, 10 of these hard washers. Hard washer goes on first. Then you have a rubber washer that goes on. That rubber washer will be against the canopy. This goes through the canopy into the frame above that's mounted to the ROPS already. And then this lock nut is going to screw on the bottom. Okay guys, we went ahead and put the hard washer, the rubber washer, and the nut on here and just twisted it on there lightly. That way we have everything assembled as a package. Less chance of losing anything. When you get up there, take one loose, install it, bolt it down, move to the next one. Hopefully we won't lose anything that way. All right, so here's the canopy. I just leaned it on a tire, tip it up. Hopefully I can pick it up. It's not too bad. Get a little grip on it. Not bad at all. Now, this canopy has got 10 holes in it, and the back hole is lining up with the back, and the front hole is lining up with the front. However, you are able to slide it back. I don't know why you'd want to, and use some other holes here. You got 3 possible positions. You're going to lose bolts each time you do that because it's going to go out the back. 1 bolt actually would be left over because it'd go out the back. There'd be no bracket back there. We're just going to mount it forward because we want shade out front. I think there'll be plenty in the back. So, drop this over top. Put the nut on it. And I'd go ahead and get them all in there just so you got everything lined up before you start tightening things up, because even if you've got them lightly snug, it might be a problem. Move to the other side. It's looking good, man. This thing is going in easy. Okay, guys, I didn't show you on the other side, but you can look up through this hole right here and see that things are out of alignment. And even though we've got all those in, there's some play in this thing. So you got to get it, make sure it's twisted right. A lot easier to get your bolts in if you get it lined up ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and tap it in. And there you got your alignment. Come back, stick your bolts in. I'm telling you right now, first look at this thing, putting it together, generally tells you a lot about a piece of equipment. This thing is going together like nothing, man. Everything here seems good and solid, well engineered, everything lines up. There's not been one problem with getting a bolt in. Most new equipment you buy these days, of course there's a lot of foreign stuff too, it don't go together very well, does it, right?
No, this is doing extremely well.
Extremely. And there's a hole. Well, that's the last one. Now we need some wrench and ratchet action here and see what happens. All right, so we used a wrench and a ratchet on top most of the time. In this area, it's really hard to get in here. You just got to kind of get that wrench up in there and get a hold of that bolt and hold it. And just, you're gonna have to be steady and hold it there. There, and that one back there. The rest of them are pretty good. Then over here on this one, nothing to it. I can just stick the ratchet up there, or the wrench up here, ratchet on top, and go to town. I'm snugging these up, not super tight. It's a piece of aluminum on a bracket. I don't think you need to get them just stressed down and rip the paint off the thing. I think it's gonna hold up just fine. Gotta say, this thing is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It is. Okay guys, so far I think I love this thing, it's awesome. We'll take it down in just a minute and show you this, but right now, we have to adjust this little rubber bumper down to this plate. There's a lock nut there, a jam nut they call it, up above. And I'm gonna have to loosen that first, slide this down till it hits the plate on both sides. and then take it off, turn it an extra turn, put it back on. You basically want to get it to where when you set this thing on here, it's snug to lock in, but not so tight that you have to fight with it. And then that helps keep it from rattling. And this is being fine-tuned because there's no way they could precision make this assembly. So you adjust this to help keep the rattle out. You wouldn't have to do it at all, but there might be a little rattle. This is going to help reduce that. You want to get it snug against that plate, go to the other side, do the same thing. Get it as snug as you can by hand. And then we got to take the canopy off. We'll make one turn, put it back, see how it locks down, and continue to do that until it's snug closing, but not so hard that you have to force it on there. And that'll help keep the rattle out of it. This is just a fine tuner. They can only make this latch mechanism so tight. I mean, the tolerances are not going to be that tight. So you put this little bumper on here, that's going to take some of the rattle out. All right, let's see if I can get this thing off of here. Pick it up, that's not too bad. Pull it off of here. First time, oh, that's not bad at all. So this is the bumper that we're adjusting to the plate we were talking about up there. This would be the jam nut right here, the silver looking nut. And they say to turn it down one more turn and then put it back up and try it. And if it's not snug, do it again. So basically this is a 6-sided nut, so I'm going to count 6 sides and I should have made one full turn. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That happened to have a booger on it, so I could tell. Not a real booger, it's a burr. Or a little scratch. All right, I'm going to do 6 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's one full turn. Now we put it back up there and we try it until it locks down snugly, and you're not going to be able to feel it. I'm not going to go through the steps. It might take 2, 3, 4 times. I'll tell you in just a minute, but we're going to go ahead and get it adjusted to where it's snug, and then we'll let you know what we think of this thing. If you'll listen to this, I'm thinking this is the rattle that we're trying to stop with this compression of this bumper. We'll find out. We're going to keep adjusting it. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to try and adjust it with the canopy still up here. Just tip it upward. Make a mark on here. Where's my marker? There it is. Well, there goes the cap. All right, so we need to bring it down one more turn. It's easy to tell now. I've got a mark on that rubber. There's one. And there's one. Yeah, that's a lot easier than taking it up and down.
Yep.
You out of the way?
I'm out of the way.
All right. It's on there. That side got really tight, no more rattle. This side still got some bouncy bounce. So apparently I didn't thumb tighten this one as much, but I think I'm gonna make it a little bit tighter anyway than what that one is. So we're gonna go one more turn here.
And 2 more turns on the other one.
I think so, because that was really loose on the other side. That wasn't part of the rules, but we're making our own rules as we go.
That's a ticket.
That's who we are, rebels. All right, here we go. Try it again. Yeah, that's it. That's what we were trying to eliminate. And there's going to be some rattle. It's metal in parts, you know. Well, that's the ROPS.
Yeah, that's the ROPS.
But we eliminated that. And it's compressing those. I think we're good.
Well, guys, I think it looks pretty good. It went together extremely easily. It would have gone together a lot more efficiently had we not been filming, because you got to get all the different angles and show you guys what we're doing.
Oh yeah,
Takes
definitely.
a lot more time that way. And having a second person would definitely help. It makes it a lot easier to get some of that stuff lined up.
Oh yeah.
But you can't do it by yourself.
I like the idea of keeping the canopy up there and just tipping it up and adjusting those little adjusters.
But you got to have the strength to do that.
Yeah.
You need to make sure you're capable of doing that. That's not something that would be really recommended.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good though.
Yeah.
It's latched in the back end real good.
Yeah. Good gust of wind comes along though, it's going to be on the ground.
You got that right.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
And if you notice, it is slightly tilted up. I'm 6'4", so it would be nice to have it adjusted down a little bit more, but you need clearance when getting on the tractor. So we're going to leave it up and see how that works out for us.
Yeah, because he forgets when things are low, and I've heard him, I can't tell you how many times, especially when we're doing construction. He goes under a house to do something. Oh, bam, bam, oh!
You will know I'm under there. So
Yeah.
I don't want to dent that thing with my head.
No, that's it. Come out the top, huh?
Yeah. But that's all there is to it, and you guys are going to see this in a lot of videos, I'm sure, because this is going to be a huge help out here on the farm.
Oh man, I'm very excited, and honestly, just getting out here already, it's shady, it's nice.
It's going to be real nice.
And it's high noon right now.
Yeah. Speaking of high noon, it's lunchtime.
Yeah, let's take it for a spin.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this install video. Check back soon. We got a lot more accessories and implement videos coming. If you did enjoy it, give us a big thumbs up for a like. Hit that subscribe button below. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you get notified when we post new videos. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Have a good one, guys.
What he said.